In fact, everyone that I personally know that has really stuck with the Ben Graham principles over 20 years or more has done appreciably better than the market. I think I know what, in a general way, is going to happen. If you buy a bond, you know exactly what's going to happen. If it's assuming it's a good bond, a U.S. government bond, if it says 9% coupons, you know what the 9% coupons are going to be for maybe 30 years if it's a 30-year bond. Now, when you buy a business, you're buying something with coupons on it too, except the only problem is they don't print in the amount. And it's my job to print in the amount on the coupon. And some companies I feel capable of doing that with, and others I don't have the faintest idea. Tech companies to me and ask me where they're going to be in 10 years or 10 months, and I don't have the faintest idea. So that would be exactly like buying cocoa beans or something. I just don't know what's going to happen. In the mid-'70s, the whole Washington Post company was selling for $80 million at a time when the properties were worth not less than $400 million. And no one would have argued with you about the properties being worth $400 million. And the price was there for all to see, but people just didn't feel very enthusiastic about the world then. Well, it requires patience, which a lot of people don't have. And people would much rather be promised that they're going to win a lottery ticket next week than that they're going to get rich slowly. Gus Leedy used to say that he was long-term greedy, not short-term greedy. And if you're short-term greedy, you probably won't get a very good long-term result. We own parts of businesses when we own stocks. And the New York Stock Exchange being open has nothing to do whether the Washington Post is getting more valuable over a 5 or 10 year period. And what we want to do is be right on the business. If we're right on the business, the market will take care of itself. And if the stock exchange closes on Saturday and Sunday, and I don't break out in highs, so if it closes for a couple of years and the business does well, we'll do very well. In the market, if you think the market knows more about what your business, in other words, if your stock goes down 10% and that upsets you, it obviously means that you think the market knows more about the company than you do, and in that case, you're the patsy. If it goes down 10% and you want to buy more because you know the business is worth just as much as when you bought it before, or perhaps a little bit more with the passage of time, so you buy more, they're the patsy. Yeah. Anything can happen in stock markets. If you read financial history for a couple of 100 years and take the South Sea bubble and the tulip boom and some of the panics we've had in this country, we closed the stock exchange for a few months back around 1914. Anything can happen. And you ought to conduct your affairs so that if the most extraordinary events happen, that you're still around to play the next day. Being a sound investor really just requires a certain control of your temperament and the ability to know what you know and know what you don't know and occasionally act. And I don't see any reason why that goes with age. We like managers who are in love with their business. We like them that feel like I do. I want to tap dance when I get to the office, and that's the sort of managers we have. And we have terrific luck where we buy businesses with managers that have been enormously successful over a period of time. They're usually rich after we buy the business, and they keep on working afterwards. We don't have so much luck with business school grads. We find it's difficult to teach a new dog old tricks, and we like the people who've been around a while. What makes a business a good business is when, if I go into a drugstore and I want a Hershey bar, they can't sell me an unmarked bar. If I'm going to pay 35 cents for the Hershey bar, and they say, but wouldn't you like this wonderful unmarked chocolate bar for 30 cents? I buy the Hershey bar. And if they don't have it someplace, I'll go across the street to buy it. That's what makes a good business. I don't feel that way about the carton of milk I buy. I'll take whatever carton of milk is in the grocery store's freezer or the cooler. I learned that subsequent to Ben. The principles of buying value and the margin of safety and the detachment from market, I learned from Ben. You might say that I learned the proper temperamental set from Ben. The stocks I buy are entirely different from what Ben would buy if he were alive today. Well, money is a byproduct of doing something I like to do extremely well. I think if you found an athlete that was doing well, and my guess is that and I'm not comparing myself, but a Ted Williams or an Arnold Palmer or something, after they have enough to eat, they're not doing it for the money. And my guess is that if Ted Williams was getting the highest salary in baseball and he was batting .220, he would be unhappy. And if he was getting the lowest salary in baseball and batting .400, he'd be very happy. That's the way I feel about this job.